Hi there. So in this session, I'm going to talk to you a bit about how we might use our breath when we're doing our Pilates exercises and how we might use that and apply it to our day-to-day tasks as well. I think breathing is one of the things that clients say to me that they find they get really find really difficult, and they often get it the wrong way around, or they suddenly realize that they're holding their breath or not breathing in the way that I'm cueing. So I just wanted to talk you through kind of the theory behind why we would breathe in when we breathe in, why we would breathe out when we breathe out, and hopefully that will help you get your head around how to breathe as you're doing the exercises. It's not something that's easy to do, it's something that takes a little bit of practice, and I know there's so much to think about when you do Pilates that it just seems like it's another thing to think about on top of how you're moving and keeping everything steady and moving with control. So I know it adds to that as well, but hopefully it's something that you can start to think about today, and you can use it to help you improve your movement, improve how you're doing the exercises, and hopefully you'll get a bit more out of them by knowing how you should be breathing as we do them. So when we're breathing, when we're doing Pilates, we try and exhale on the effort. So we're trying to breathe out on the part of the movement that is the hardest work. The reasoning behind this is because as we breathe out, it's easier for us to engage our core muscles. So especially when I do like teaching on pelvic floor, as we exhale, that's the easiest time to help draw into those muscles, and the same for our deep abdominal muscles as well. So as you exhale, then you can think about really drawing into those muscles so we can engage those core muscles, stabilize ourselves as we're doing the hardest part of the exercise. So that's why we try and exhale on the effort. Another reason why it's really good to time our movement with our breathing is that actually when we are doing Pilates, we're trying to think about getting our core muscles working as we're doing certain movements, but then hopefully we're going to start translating those movements into more and more functional things. So when you're doing, I don't know if you find when you do a task that is a little bit tricky, that you might be concentrating so much on that task that you actually end up holding your breath. Well, hopefully, when you start doing exercise in Pilates that you find difficult, and you're thinking about your breathing as you're doing those more challenging exercises that take a bit more concentration, hopefully that's going to start to translate so that as you do functional tasks through the day that take that little bit more effort, that take that little bit more concentration, that you can try and apply those strategies so that you can keep your breathing going steadily as you're doing those tricky tasks. If we can keep ourselves breathing in a steady and an effective way as we're doing things that we find more difficult, obviously that supplies more oxygen to our bodies, to our muscles, which means our muscles are going to work more effectively, so we're going to be able to do those movements more easily. So if you're holding your breath, there's a bit of a catch-22. The more you hold your breath, the less oxygen you'll have going to your muscles, the harder it's going to be for you to move in an effective way. So try and keep breathing as you're doing tasks that are more difficult, and hopefully learning your Pilates breathing, you can translate that into your day-to-day tasks. Another time when it's good to think about timing movement with our breathing is when we're in pain. So a lot of the time, I'll see patients in clinic and they'll really struggle to go into movements. But actually, if we break it down, we say, breathe in and then breathe out as you go into that movement. Often people can actually get a lot further as they relax into that movement on their out breath. So again, that's a way that our breathing can really help with improving our range of movement and our function. So I think breathing is a really important thing in Pilates. Obviously, very important in life, otherwise we wouldn't be here. But in Pilates, it's really important to try and get the breathing right. But I do always say to people, the main thing to start off with is that you're not holding your breath. As long as you're not holding your breath, it's a great start. And then you can start, as you get more familiar with the exercises and the movements, then you can think about getting the breathing the right way around as you get more familiar with it all. The other thing I wanted to talk about with breathing, so we're going through breathing out on the effort, and it will help engage those core muscles. It can help with moving into positions that you might find more painful, and keeping your breathing going helps with when you're doing exercise that take more concentration, can really help with oxygenating our muscles and getting more out of the movement. The other thing to think about is how we breathe. So I think a lot of the time, especially when people are really stressed or if they're in pain, we tend to do really shallow breathing. So you tend to breathe just from the top of your lungs. So you're just breathing and your chest might move up and down, and you don't really expand and fill your lungs deeply. So in Pilates, we do what's called lateral breathing, and that's where we're really trying to focus on filling our lungs deeply, letting our rib cage expand laterally, so outwards. And that means that we can really fill our lungs deeply, get the most out of our breath. We should be able to breathe more slowly in a more controlled way. And breathing this way can make you feel so much calmer as well. So if you're holding a lot of tension and a lot of stress and you're doing shallow breathing, actually if you can change that breathing pattern, you'll probably find that actually quite quickly you'll feel quite a lot calmer. So I think, yeah, breathing is really good, really important in helping us reduce our stress and feeling much more calm. So I'll just talk you through lateral breathing to start with. We'll do a bit of practice on lateral breathing. Then we'll try an exercise where we're going to breathe out on the effort. And then we'll try an exercise where we're going to change our breathing a little bit. So we're going to try breathing out as we move into a position that closes down through our lungs. So that's when you might feel like you sort of change the way around that you breathe slightly in Pilates. So when we're doing exercises that close us down through our ribs, or we come into like a curled or crunch position, we'll breathe out as we're reducing that space through our rib cage and our lungs, and then we would breathe in as we open and expand. Okay, so I'm going to go through an exercise where we'll use that as an example as well. So let's start off with lateral breathing. So for lateral breathing, you just need to be sitting. You're going to be sitting in a chair, any position that is comfortable for you, on the floor if you like. And you're going to take your hands and just put your hands onto the bottom of your rib cage. You're just feeling kind of the bottom of your ribs where they meet your stomach. And then all we're going to do is we're going to try breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. So relax your shoulders away from your ears. You can close your eyes if you like. So you're going to breathe in through your nose. So see your mouth as you breathe in. And then you're breathing out through your mouth. Breathing in through your nose. And breathing out through your mouth. Let's go for one more. So as we breathe in through our nose, that helps just restrict our airflow a little bit. So it means that our breath in is really nice and smooth, which can help us feel a little bit calmer. As we breathe out through our mouth, it's good to breathe out through your mouth through slightly pursed lips. And if you can just put a little bit of force behind your exhale, again, that will help you even more to contract your core muscles. So you can put that bit of force behind your out breath. That will really help you to start engaging through your pelvic floor and your deep abdominals. Okay, so let's just go for a couple more. Breathing in through our nose, breathe out through our mouth. So think about what can you feel underneath your hands here. So really try and think about, as you breathe in, pushing your ribcage out sideways into your hands. You might feel like your ribcage is pushing back a little bit as well. That's great if you can feel it sort of expanding back behind you. But it should be out into your hands and back behind you, rather than feeling like you're lifting through your chest. And then as you breathe out, you should feel your ribcage sinking and relaxing down. Almost feel like your ribcage is sliding down towards your stomach. So you're really emptying your lungs as you breathe out. Let's go for one more breath. Lovely. So hopefully you felt like you're really filling your lungs deeply, practicing breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And you might have been able to feel as you were exhaling with that bit of effort, maybe you could feel that you were just getting a little bit of tension through your core muscles on each exhale. So now let's try translating that into an exercise. So we'll try our one leg stretch level 1. It's a nice simple exercise. So we're going to take a lie onto our back, so you can join in with me, or you can just watch me to get an idea of how to breathe as we move through this exercise. So again, you can put your hands onto your rib cage so you can feel around your lungs here. Feet are hip width, our lower back is neutral, nice and open through our chest. So we're going to breathe in through our nose to prepare. And then we're going to breathe out. We're going to slide one leg away. Breathing in through your nose as you bring your leg in. Breathe out through your mouth as you stretch away. Breathe in through your nose as you slide your leg in. So you should be able to feel, as you breathe out, your rib cage is sinking and relaxing down towards your stomach as you empty those lungs. As you breathe in and draw that leg in, you're expanding through your rib cage. It's expanding outwards as you really feel those lungs deeply. Taking that nice big breath of air. So as you breathe out, I hope you can feel that you're getting that gentle drawing in through your core to help stabilize through your pelvis and keep your back nice and steady. And so we're trying to stay nice and relaxed through our shoulders, open through our chest as we're doing these movements. Let's go for 2 more on each side. And last one. Lovely. Okay, then from there, we're going to take a sit back up. So hopefully that gave you an idea of sort of breathing out on the more effortful part of the movement, breathing on the easier part, keeping that core contracted, feeling our ribcage expanding as we breathe in, and really feeling our ribcage sinking and flattening towards our stomach as we empty our lungs and breathe out with that bit of force on our out breath, on our exhale. So we're going to try an exercise now. We're going to think about, as we move through the exercise, we're going to close our ribcage down. So this is where we're going to exhale, and then as we open up, we're going to inhale. So you might feel like actually the effort changes around a little bit on this one, but actually when you think about the movement we're doing through our upper back or around our bodies, when you think about that closing down, it really makes sense that we're going to take that air out of our lungs as we round, and then as we open, we want to take the air in. So we're going to try this one kneeling up if you can. You can do it in sitting if you want, but I'm going to kneel, but you can do it sitting on the floor, sitting in a chair, or you can stand up. If you're kneeling, knees are under our hips. And again, our lower back is neutral. We're going to take our hands out to our sides, and we're going to try upper back curls. So we're going to take a nice big breath in. And then as you breathe out, we're going to round through upper back. So chin comes to our chest. You're going to hug your arms around in front of you. So you should feel like you're closing down through your body. And then you're going to breathe in, and we're going to stretch and open out at the top. So breathing out as we curl round. Breathing in as you open up. So really think about expanding through our chest as we open and stretch with those fingertips, but also expanding and opening through our lungs, letting our rib cage expand outwards, expand laterally again as we breathe in. And then as we breathe out, we're closing down, softening our rib cage down towards our stomach, and then breathing in, really expanding and opening up. So let's just try a couple more of those. Feeling like you can force that air out as you curl round. And that air should almost feel like it naturally flows in as we open up on this one. Lovely, we'll just go for one more. Well done. So hopefully you found that helpful. So thinking about exhaling on the effort, or exhaling as we close down through our bodies as we do those movements. Trying to inhale through our nose to help take in that breath nice and slowly, and that can help again give out a bit of a calming effect through our body, and then that nice big breath out through our mouth, and as we put that bit of force behind our out breath, that's going to help with that engagement of our core muscles. Trying as much as we can to exhale on the effort of the exercise, as again that will help our core to engage as we do those more difficult parts of our exercises. So I hope that you found that the video I've done today helpful. Hopefully it kind of gives you a bit of a rundown of how to breathe when you're doing Pilates. If you've got any questions, obviously please do let me know. I'm more than happy to try and help you out. And fingers crossed you'll be able to apply this to your Pilates classes and feel like you are getting your breathing the right way round when you're doing the exercises. And just remember, main thing, try not to hold your breath. See how you got on, and yeah, please let me know.